don't want to use the computer audio. Yes. Yo. 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 So now where's the camera? Yes, we heard that. Okay, so microphone, mic check, mic check. Log into Zoom if you can hear me. Check one, mic check. Colin, I see you. All right. Yo. Want to let you in. I want to make sure that it keeps our screen solid. So instead of showing those, do
I hear you.
They don't have a way of making it to where, okay, there we do. Why is it sideways? There we go. That's the way I want the screen to stay.
The whole time?
Yeah. Yo. Okay, so it doesn't make
Oh.
Yo, we got sound.
I can hear you in my ears.
Okay, let's get started. It's gonna be short. Okay, so today we are gonna pick up where we left off at in the previous lesson, where we were getting into the striking. With the lessons today, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of bypass, well, not really, we'll do just a little bit of warm up, but we're going to kind of go through those real quick and get right into the lesson. So first thing to do to warm up is we just want to put our arms out at a 45 degree and just kind of put your feet at a 45 also. Yeah,
Well, I'm just doing side view so they can see. So my glasses, I can't see.
And then from this position, all we want to do is we want to take and we want to start to squat our body down while we raise our arms up. But as we're raising our arms, pay attention that you're pushing out with the back muscles going the direction that your fingers are going. So you're coming down, your legs are spread out. Don't let your hips go back like so. Keep your pelvis up under you and keep your back straight. Stretch those arms and then come back up, retracting your shoulders back in and down. We'll go again. You start to press the arms out. So your shoulders come out going down, and then as like somebody's pulling you in that direction while you're squatting down. So you should feel your back opening up. And then as you're coming back up, you feel your back sort of coming back together until you go back here. So your arms are back in their normal socket position. We'll do two more. Come down. So it's pulling you down, then out, then kind of up. And while your arms are moving, your legs are still going down. And then you're coming back up and in. Let your spine be nice and straight always. I take that for granted that everybody knows, but Your head should be elongated. Your spine should be being pulled up the whole time. We got one more. Spine being pulled up. Arms out and down. Remember to breathe. Same pace as your legs, your arms go. And down. So by the time you stand up straight, your arms should be fully back in their sockets and relax at your side. So then we just want to tense. Think about rolling up carpet, you know, with your hands. Roll your fingers in to make fists. Roll them in. Don't just ball your hands up like this, like just make a fist. Roll them in by each joint. Roll them in like so. And then as you roll them in, don't curl the wrist at all. Squeeze the fist and allow the tension to start from the wrist and go all the way up the arms into the shoulders. Keep the head straight. All up the arms into the shoulders, now into the pecs, to the upper back. Then start to squeeze down at the top abdomen, down to the bottom, lower back, glutes, pelvis, inside yourself, legs, down to the feet. The only thing is loose is your head and your face. Everything else is tight. Even your feet, you're grabbing the floor now. Then I want you to unroll your fingers from your pinky to your palm. Then relax the wrists, forearms, shoulders, upper back, middle back, lower back, abdomens, pelvis, glutes, legs, down to the feet. Then you're gonna roll them up again, tense, all the way through, like a wave of tension, but everything gets tight and it stays tight. All the way down, glutes, pelvis, glutes, legs, all the way down to the feet. Head, neck, face is still relaxed. Everything else is tight. Your head is still being pulled up though. Everything else is tight. And then from the fingers, relax, wrists, forearms, shoulders, upper back, middle, lower, hips, glutes, legs, feet. We'll do that one more time. Roll the fingers in, tight, tight, tight. All the way down to the feet. Check the face and head and neck. Make sure it's being pulled up. Scan your body, make sure everything is flexed and those fingers are being rolled in. Then unroll them from the pinkies out, wrists, forearms, shoulders, upper back, middle, lower, hips, legs, feet. So everything should have a little bit of awareness to it, right? Then from this position, we just want to do our squat. So we come down, you can put your arms out, or you can have your arms by your side. Push your hips up under you, come back up. Down, up. Make sure that your head is up, your body is straight. Go down, push yourself up under, your hips up under you, go back up, down, up, down, up. 3 more, down, down. Make sure your breath precedes the motion. Down. And back up. Just like that. Then we'll go ahead, and since we're going to do strikes, if you don't have a partner, start off with the wall. So just as an example, what I mean by the wall, let's see, we'll turn this so you can just see. Go to a side facing wall, and you just want to place your fist on the wall and connect your elbow to your fist nice and straight, so it's not like this. So there's no kink in the wrist, or Like if you were up higher and you had the wrist kink like this, or if you had this kind of thing going on, where it's this bend in the wrist, you don't want that. Get that elbow directly behind the fist so it's nice and straight, even if you're up here. And then don't lean into the wall, but instead start to push from the floor through the elbow into the wall, into the fist. So just keep pushing. You should feel the weight of your body in the floor, in your foot, and you should feel the floor coming up through your body, going into the wall. It's like you're connected in between the two, and you're just pushing. You're pushing. And there should be no lightness in either leg. Both legs should be full. Now you can start to relax this other shoulder, this other arm, but this back leg shouldn't be relaxed and this front leg shouldn't be relaxed, unless that's the drill. But for this particular drill, that's not the drill. I want everything engaged, but you're not leaning. And then you can start to place the other hand before you switch, get it placed, get a nice good push from the ground through that other hand, and now you can relax the other arm. And now everything is connected on the other side. Push, push, push. Remember, your spine is still straight, your head is still up. And then we come off the wall, and we can still stay on the wall, but I'm gonna turn the camera just so we come off the wall. And Colin, you can do this on the wall. So you're gonna come to the wall, and you'll place your hands on the wall, or actually we got other camera angles. Try to use other camera angles to show this too, but you wanna get on the wall and move your fist. Also allow your body weight with your pelvis down. Don't have your butt out like this, and don't have your body slouched like that. It should be a nice straight back because of tucked pelvis. Your spine is nice and straight, so don't have your head bent down like this or down like this. Your spine nice and straight. This is just to have body awareness and feel where you're going. And every time you place the fist, you want to pressurize the fist so that when the other hand comes off, you're still relatively in the same position as far as pressure. You want the wrists to be nice and straight the whole time. Every time that fist touches, you can feel that floor coming up through your fist. You can start to step. Every time. For those of you, you can do this exercise literally for hours, honestly, depending on what you're searching for. But if you want to make it a little more dynamic, you can start to push into the wall, 1 foot up, 1 foot down, keeping good posture. Try not to look down with your head like this. Try to keep your head up nice and straight, as if you were standing up and doing this work. Pay close attention to the position of your wrist. You can start to go down a little lower. Make sure your pelvis is tucked. That way you're getting your full body weight behind it, which is the same effect when you're striking. If your pelvis is tucked, you get everything behind the strike. So that is essentially like doing That's your upper body. Well, that's your whole body still too, right? And then we'll come to the ground real quickly and get down. And up on your butt, sorry. And just sit up. And all he wants to do is lean back about 45, yep. And head up. And all he wants to do is take your hands like so. And you want to stay at a 45 and then just kind of walk forward with your hips, but staying at that 45, stay back. Like you had something here, you was trying to, yep, as he's walking forward. Now lay back as you're going forward. Keep laying back till you lay it down, but keep walking. And lay down as you're going. Yep, control it. Keep walking. There you go. All the way down. And then walk back and start to come up. Keep walking, keep walking. Yep, and then down. So it's like he's retracting himself as he's going out, and then coming back in, he's going back up. Yep. And the point that everybody's going to have a point where it gets harder, right? Some will be higher, some will be lower. That's the point where you want to work through. You want to work through that because we need freedom in the hips at all points. And you go back. Yep. And then walk back and come up. Keep going. Yep, don't stop it. Yep. So do that a few times on your own. It's a really good drill, really good exercise for connectivity, opening up the hips, opening up the psoas muscle. That's the muscle that sits on the inside of the spine directly. It's the muscle that actually allows you to bend, pick your leg up. It's not the abs that helps you do a sit-up, it's the psoas muscle. So come on up. This is fine. Stand up. And so once you've done all of that, right, you've warmed up, you've got your body nice and warm, and you can take the amount of time that you would like to do for these warm-ups. 3, 4 minutes, a minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, each exercise, whatever you want. It's really up to your fitness level and your desired condition, like what your goal is for your body. And then if you did have a partner and you didn't want to do the wall exercise, you could use your partner for the push. So you would take and you place your fist on him or her, and you want to be sure that your wrist was straight, and you push into them. It's not a matter of trying to like break them or anything like that, but I want to from the floor through my fist. From the floor through my fist. And the fist needs to fit whatever I'm touching. You can walk around the body and push. But each and every time, you want to feel the whole floor coming up through your fist. And you're not leaning. There's not a lean. It's the body push, the body from the ground through the fist. And if you have to place your fist and then position yourself so that you're comfortable, that's fine. And then push. That's fine too. You can place your fist at odd angles, like how my fist is wrapping around his body, but I don't want to compromise my wrist. I can do this, but my wrist is straight as I'm coming around his body, and I'm basically cutting through the body like this. So I'm pulling him to me, but I don't want to compromise the safety of my wrist integrity, because I'm trying to hit him with this part of my fist, because you actually practice placing all parts of the fist. This part of the fist, the hammer part of the fist, the actual flat, the knuckles here, hammer of the fist, knife stab of the fist, all parts. You can go around the person's body with the fist and push. You go around with the elbows and push, push. You can chain the fist to the elbow, back to the fist. Fist, elbow, fist. It always needs to fit, and you always need to have your structure while you're doing the exercise. Don't like get the tunnel vision or be staring at the person's body. Have your head up and straight. You can challenge, not necessarily challenge, I guess it is a challenge for some, to where you can start to squat and touch the body, right? But even then, you still want to have good posture in your body. Like your butt shouldn't be back like this. Yeah, so everything is about keeping the 4 pillars in place. 4 pillars are
Breathing, relaxation, balance or structure, and movement.
those are your 4 pillars. And so now we move into the actual drill or the lesson. And what we want to start off with is with my partner. I guess it'd be better to go to the side. So with my partner, starting off where I was placing the fist on him, as I start to push, he's learning, we're both learning at the same time. For this particular drill, as I place my fist on him and I start to push, he wants to feel where I'm connected inside of him, and he wants to free that thing so that he can actually escape. And my job is to continue my push through. And so if he doesn't escape, I actually move him out of the way. And if he does, then good for him.
If I don't escape.
If he doesn't escape, I should be trying to move his spine. His spine sits in the middle of the body, of course, right? But you can touch the spine from, even if it's on the side, if you hit here on the side, you can still get into the spine. But if you go to the side and you just kind of push, you know, on the rib cage or whatever, you're not really gonna affect his body. And he's actually, he can even be stronger and not even move there, right? So it's not good connection. But if you connect to the spine, is much easier to move his body, and it's gonna deliver a much deeper strike. So you want to take the time and have a good training partner that will allow you to study. And you're also teaching him, because if he gets hit, his ability to move and escape is going to protect him from receiving maximum damage from the strike. And then later on, he learns how to move preemptively so that when he sees the rear back, or if he didn't see it, but as soon as he, sensed it, he moves, and he moves in for a counter. And so that's where this goes. But starting off, I just place my fist. I want to make sure my structure is right. And then I want to connect, and he wants to escape. I can place my fist, and you can place your fist anywhere. Just as an example, I can go to his leg. I'm still attached to the spine through his pelvis, through the pelvic bone. So I touch his leg. I need to make sure my spine is straight. It looks like I'm bent over, but my back isn't hunched like this. My spine is still straight. My pelvis is tucked, so the lower back is perfectly straight with my spine, and it allows me to connect through my legs into my fist, or into whatever part of my body I want to use. Go all around the body and touch the guy. And you're not trying to throw him. So just give him enough pressure so he can study how to move, or she can study how to move. Your partner can study how to move. You're not trying to throw him. This is not about your ego. Just touch him. Make sure you're connected. Boop. Yep. Yep. You can place it on the spine to give them a little more challenge. Then they have to decide which direction to rotate. You can do hammer down. You can go fist up. You can go fist across. Each and every time, I just want to give him good pushes so he can escape. And then if he's doing really good, then you start to increase the speed, not from here to there, because that's a punch, but the speed from the contact to the push. Once you make contact, push. Always touch the legs of your partner. You can even come down to the floor. You can test yourself. You can lay down. Always keep your wrist integrity. If we were working legs, like strikes with legs, you could do the same thing with the leg, but we're not doing that in this particular drill. So just showing you, these exercises are endless, boundless. They are 100% customizable. And so you do that back and forth, one for one, or one person push, 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 then the next person push, push, push. And then you can go one for one where I'm placing and I'm pushing him, he's placing, he's pushing me, I'm placing, I'm pushing him, he's pushing me. We can go back and forth. And you can really make the drill as fun, as challenging as you want. You can do it on one leg, you can do it with your eyes closed, one hand behind your back, whatever. And the reason why you would do those things is because anytime you take something away, you actually make everything else stronger. It's like people who are blind, they have better senses in other areas and vice versa. And so you essentially take away something, right? And just as an example, let's say, I don't know, I'm on one leg, right? And I'm pushing him. Where if I'm on one leg, usually most people, you resort to leaning in to push, but you don't have to. You still have that same connection from this leg through the fist. It's still the same connection. So you don't have to lean, right? Here, and what that does is it really solidifies the connection from the ground through the fist, practicing with the one leg. It does the same thing when you lie on the ground and you rise your legs and you start to push the body while holding that tension in your abs. So all in all, the challenge actually makes you stronger. So we move from there, and then we want to go into something that's very hard. This is probably the hardest thing for most people to do, and that's the slow work, because you have to be extremely honest with your movement. And so those of you who've trained with me, you know that we have what I call a lower ready, a ready, and then an upper ready position. And that's really just to train you to have your hands out of your pockets or uncrossed or away from behind your back, or not having them, you know, stiff in some stance type of thing. We want to be relaxed and ready. If I'm here and I'm just, you know, cooling it, and I know this guy's got a problem, I might bring him off my body like so. This is a ready position. It doesn't look threatening or anything like that, but I'm ready for whatever. As it happens, my hands come back, they come up to the actual ready position. This is where work happens, right? From here to here, all of this is where work happens. Then of course, all of this is where work happens. All of this is where work happens, right? So we want to train ourselves to get to where our hands can sort of float out in front of us without having the tension in our shoulders. And there are tons of exercises that I'll show to do that too in later lessons. But for now, this exercise, what we want to do is, as my partner, I'll be the aggressor. So as I start to rise my hands to attack my partner, his body, yes, should already be preparing. He doesn't want to move too soon, meaning he doesn't want to give me a telltale of where he's going, but his body now is ready. If my hands came up and I went this fast, his body should have already been, as soon as I did this, his body should have been responding. Even before, like maybe if I stepped up to him and I had it in my eyes, yeah, see, his body should respond. Fear is actually good for you. And so we shouldn't try to get rid of fear, but we definitely want to have fear under our control, or at least have a working relationship with fear so that when we hear it, we know, oh, there might be something worth checking out, right? Not to ignore it, but we don't want to be like, oh shit, and just stiff and tight and allow fear to take control. So as the aggressor, I can stand, I can be relaxed, I can be chilling, whatever. And then yes. And then from here, I start to attack, to push. Now, it's too slow. It's too late of a response. It doesn't have to be big. It should be, if you
want me to come at you so you can show?
Yeah, if you rise in your hands, right? I'm here, my hands, I'm already ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like I match what he's doing. His hands are back there, keep coming. I don't want to wait until here and then do this. That's not, because if he was throwing at full speed, my hands can't get up here fast enough. You know, like not if it's relaxed down here and his hand is already here. You know, this isn't like a anime cartoon or something. But if I sense danger, my hands can come up and I can move at the same pace, and I know that the threat is there, so I'm gonna go to the threat. Or if the threat is coming, I can always opt to move. Like if you just continue the movement through, right? I can opt to move and I'm gonna be out of the way. Like if my hands don't get up, but my feet can move my whole body. Yep. If my hands can come up though, you see, as my feet moves, I can do the motion. This is what some people will do, and I don't advise you practicing it because it's kind of a bad habit. But if he goes and I move slow with my hand, then I bring my fist up fast. That's not very honest, I don't think. So as I move, my hand is here. It's just in the right place. I'm moving, my hands come up. They're just in the right place. And so that's the exercise. I'm coming to you now. So if I come to Colin, he's moving. Yep, his hand is in the right place. Don't leave anything behind. You don't leave anything behind. As I'm coming to you, yeah. Even if I was like stepping to him, yeah, see? Yeah. You can work with this with grabs, but because we're doing striking, I kind of want you to focus on striking. So one person can come in with the kind of traditional sort of setup, chin down, hand forward, and then you can, boom, yeah, man. You know, so, yep. And then because I'm like this, you're perfectly fine. You're ready. What you'll notice is if you get like the aggressor, and then I get the aggressor, now we both have this wall up. We want him. We don't want to have any confrontation whatsoever, right? We don't want to be in a fight. But if the fight comes, we want it to come to us. We don't want to have to go to it. So if you're the aggressor, just real quick, I would much rather be in a position of moving like this, like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Right? And kind of inviting him closer to me. And then I can start to move into his body and do the work. There's all kind of ways that you can move though, tactically. It just depends on the psychology, where you're at, what's going on, why you need, because sometimes you might just need to go to the guy, right? But it just depends. So for the exercise, I'm gonna aggress, just so I can show. Because I want the aggressor to move at a pace that the guy can learn. I want you to move at a pace, and then, yep, as the aggressor, you have to stay honest with the attack. I don't want to hear because he moves, I'm tracking. That's not honest. Because if it was full speed, I wouldn't be able to track him. It would just, I would have to swing and then switch, you know. Unless he moves, like if I do this and he goes that way, then I can absolutely. But if I'm already throwing it at this pace, yeah, that's simulated full speed. Okay? And so you guys can go one for one. I'm here. I go bing, boom, boom. Yep. And then he attacks me. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you doing? I can work on whatever I want, right? But I want you to work on striking. So let's do it again. Let's just do striking. So if I'm here, maybe I just move in and you know, bring that arm up and put it in his face or his chest or what have you.
One and done.
One and done. As you go, so the next part of that drill is, as you go, start to together, as I come to you, you come, and we keep it slow. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Nice, steady, slow movement, honest. Yep. Boom. We don't want to speed up unnecessary, speed up at all, honestly, actually. Boom. Boom. Just kind of stay in the vein of the practice with the speed, and just sort of, yep. And don't be afraid of the contact. If you notice, you can let the fist get close to you. It's much better than if I'm way back here. Because if I'm way back here, then I have to like go to him, right? But if I can stay somewhat close just by getting touched, then I can absolutely touch him. Make sense? And then it's one hand washing the other, one hand washing the other, one hand washing the other. And yeah, once you do that for a while, then you can start to speed it up, making more and more contact. If to get the body ready for actual strikes, and this is where we're going to end. To get the body ready for actual strikes, you where we were first touching and pushing, and then we were pushing and then pushing faster. Now we take that speed and we increase it from out here to touch the body. I'm not drawing back and throwing the fist though, just reaching forward and touching the body. Reaching forward, touching the body. You can walk around, touch the face, touch the abdomen, face, back, legs, still keeping good posture. I'm not winding up and throwing it. I'm going right from where my fist or my arm is and just pushing it forward and allowing the body to follow behind. That's what we'll pick up at in the next lesson. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe out there. And got anything to say?
Peace and love to everyone.
Peace and love to everyone. Take care.